Hey guys, welcome out to the range. Yesterday I shot a video with my handgun that it was abysmal. It was some of the worst pistol work I've done in a long time. I've been tied up for like 6 weeks now. It has, well, yeah, about 6 weeks. When I came out here yesterday to inspect this range area where I work, it was grown over to a height of about that high. Well, basically that stuff over there. And so I had to basically just peel everything back 50 yards by 50 yards with a 100-yard alleyway for the 100 to 7 drill. And but I did that this morning, not yesterday, because yesterday it was late enough in the afternoon that I didn't want to be getting on the mowers in that kind of heat. And so I did that earlier today. But anyways, I shot up top yesterday on the gravel area, and it was terrible. This is a new shirt that I'm wearing. I've bought several of these. They're Adidas shirts. They're really nice, very comfortable. They breathe really, really well, and I like the length of them because they do a nice job of covering my handgun even if I reach up for things. And so, what I found yesterday was my hands, in fact you can see it right there. There we go. My hands will just slide right off of this fabric. And I know that there's this kind of notion that it's acceptable to be starting your fight like this. I got news for you. If you get startled by someone, your first response is not going to be to stand like this. So you can, right? That's bull. The first thing you're going to do in a startle response is going to be this, which is why I always start my shooting time, my practice time, in this defensive position. Feet spread way out, not just shoulders width apart and equal, but feet spread way out in the base of a pyramid, one in front of the other, on the ball of the rear one, so that I'm in a fighting stance. Anyone who's ever taken mixed martial arts understands what this stance is about. You are in a position of balance here. You are in a position of strength to be able to take a hit and fall back onto your heel and take some of that impact before you topple over. So the fighting stance begins here. Hey man, I'm sorry. Dude, back up, dude, back up. And from here, it would be cover garment up and shooting and handgun up, and the fighting starts. You can actually start from here if you needed to. The reality of it is that you may not even have a chance to go to your handgun. So you want to be hands up anyways. So this is not a position of surrender, which is what so many people don't understand about this position. So anyways, I thought I'd bring you guys out today and give you brutal honesty as I run this again, because it's been a minute since I shot. So the ready position, fire one shot, required time 1 second, pistol, yeah. Required time 1 second, desired time 0.85. Ready position for basically having your handgun already out is here. You'll notice where my index finger is, my shooting finger. It's actually up top on the handgun. Right now I can completely visualize this guy from head to foot, all the way down to the bottom. And yet I can still see my front sight post. I could even get it here if I wanted to, but I prefer to have it here. Elbows are tucked in tight against the chest wall so someone can't just casually grab my arm and get my gun from me. I'm in a position here where I'm challenging this person. So remember, this fight has already gone from the startle to the gun up. And you're just trying everything you can to verbally get a hold of this guy before you have to shoot him, which is why he's over there instead of here. Oh, and I should say, hang on, and I should add, no joke, first shot of the day. Hang on a minute. Let me make sure, hang on, let me make sure this camera's actually running. Okay, good, yeah. I want to make sure this camera is running because I don't want to have to do a do-over. I want you guys to actually see the first hit. That isn't terrible. Anything inside of this rough window of about 6 inches, I accept. With all honesty, guys, inside of that black border and basically above, so it's not really a clean circle. It's more like an oval. But I accept hits inside of this area here because anything inside of this area, well, frankly, anything from here up, but anything inside of this area is going to instantly alter the behavior of this person. So for not having practiced, Yesterday, like I said, I shot a little bit up top. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. I had more shots downrange in the gravel than I had on steel, and it was one of these targets. And so it was so hot. I had a lot going on yesterday. I think I've already mentioned this before. I think by now you will have already seen a video on this. I went through a divorce in the last year. It's been horrible. However, I have met a wonderful person, a wonderful lady from church. Her name is Tanya. She's an absolute treasure. And we're getting married in a couple of months. And, and there's that stress too. But her presence in my life has been an absolute blessing. I'm glad to be out of the divorce. Anyone who's ever been through divorce understands what I'm talking about. It's hell. It is hell. It makes you question God's existence. It gets so bad sometimes. Jeepers, where's my... There it is. Wow. Front sight, front sight. Oh, I guess I should clarify that point. Front sight is what helps you find your dot when you've lost your dot. Left eye. 0.96. So, well inside of required time. I'd like to get desired time of 0.85. If my friend Shane were here, Shane Cardwell from Ohio, he runs Impact Shooting Center with his wife Carly. If he were here, he would be telling me, react to the B in beep rather than the P in beep. B-E-E-P. Beep! So what he's getting at is you should be reacting, when that beep sounds, you should be reacting to the beep, 0.33. You should be reacting to the B in beep rather than the P. Because if you wait until the end of that word, beep, to begin the process, you're already behind. The second you have the stimulus of beep, react. Oh man, dead center of the nasal septum. With all honesty, all these hits are really good. That's the first one. I think that was second, third, fourth. These are all really good hits. These are, I mean, every one of these is a fight stopper, is a fight modifier with this guy. His right side forehead. All right, let's move on. 0.86, so that was closer. That was just 1/10 away from desired time of 0.85. Okay, ready, position, fire, 4 shots. Definitely going to need more ammo for that. Yeah, definitely going to need more ammo. Dang! 184. One was slightly out on the ear, and I don't like that. I want them nice and tight. How funny how the first shot was 0.84. So the task that I couldn't get done before, I got done this time because I knew I needed to fire 4 rounds. That's what happens. This is why I like this thing. That's what happens when you know that there's a sense of urgency where you're gonna have to shoot multiple times. It's like, I gotta get on it. I gotta get on it now. So first shot was 0.84, 0.36, 0.33, 0.31. Those are all the splits. And then 0.84 for first shot, 120, 153, and 184. So 4 shots in well under 2 seconds. Not horrible. Okay. The other thing that bears noting about these targets is these are 3/8 targets. These are rifle rated, and they're tilted way back. So there's very little movement coming off of this target, which is giving me a more accurate reading of where my rounds are going. But I like these because they're a more realistic approximation of what it would be like to actually hit a human being, because a human being is not going to suck up rounds in a static position. They're going to start moving when you're hitting them. .184. So what is interesting about this is, those of you who shoot optics on handguns understand this. Your dot is going like this the entire time you're doing this. It's just doing, 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 doing. It's all over the place. So, interesting. And yet all those shots are cleanly inside the central portion of that head with that one flyer from earlier. Let me show you real quick. This is that one flyer from earlier, from the first time I did this, but everything else, you can see how the patterns are very repetitious. So still well inside the central portion of this head. And that was 184, so those are well inside. I need to move on. Holster, fire one shot, 2 seconds. Okay. From holster, fire one shot, 2 seconds. With all honesty, this is the one that was giving me the most grief yesterday. The fabric on this shirt is so slick that I just kept sliding off the shirt constantly. I have a knife here, I have a clinch pick, and so I have to be careful what I hit. Because typically speaking, you can slap at that shirt hard and get a handful, but with the length of this shirt, I may or may not get enough clearance. In fact, there you go. I don't have enough clearance. So I actually have to go at it from the bottom, and it has to be a scoop up. I have to scoop up and get it out of the way. People tell you to do this, and the people who tell you to do that, when this thing comes out, they don't even do that. This is horse crap. Stop teaching it. Stop practicing it in front of your mirror when you're LARPing in your bedroom. Stop. Please stop. When bullets start flying, it's a whole different thing. This is baloney. With all honesty, this is about all you need to be doing. And the other reason that this is important is, let's say you're somewhere where you have a candy rack, chips and whatnot here, and you have just enough visual cover to get your gun out discreetly. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to do that because you've practiced it so many times on the range, instead of being the guy who goes, because I've seen those clowns. They come to classes and they will do this. They jut out their pelvis because someone online told them to make sure that the gun is not pointed at their junk. So they jut out their pelvis and they go, and they do that one. Now imagine doing that. You've already telegraphed to this guy that you're coming for him. Or be the guy who can discreetly do that and then bring it up and shoot. Oh, people are getting butt hurt already. Hot Pockets! Just honking everybody off today. Everybody getting bent. Everybody getting offended. Ask me if I care. Go ahead, ask me if I care. No! What are we doing here? Holster, fire one shot. Dude. Oh, I thought, I'm gonna show it to you anyways. I don't even get to say at least I hit the target. That is so far away from where I thought my dot was when I pulled the trigger. The last thing I saw was my dot heading like that. Oh, I'm gonna own that. Yeah, I'm owning that one. Where the hell is my dot? This is what happens when you don't practice. This crap happens right here. You saw that, right? Grass. Ugh. This is why we practice, folks. This is why we practice. 199. So nowhere near the 150 that I'd love to have. At least I made the required time of 2:0. Remember, guys, I'm just showing this to you cold. I think that's here, which is most definitely a fight stopper. 185. Yeah, that was right underneath the left eye. 188. Let's do one more. Let's do one more and move on. Just inside the lacrimal duct on the left eye, which is there. 173. Notice how quickly steel teaches you. For those who've never heard me say this, within 300 milliseconds of hearing that sound right there, your brain creates a new neural pathway and labels it success because you heard a ding rather than dirt. because my earphones can pick up the round impacting the dirt and tumbling off into the trees. So between the or ding, my brain goes miss, hit. And that's 300 milliseconds. 300 milliseconds are the eyelids opening and closing. That's 300 milliseconds. So imagine that. In that time frame, my brain, your brain, everybody's brain, well, normal people's brains, create a new neural pathway for every single step that was taken to get the gun up, level, and hit the target. New neural pathway is created and labeled as a successful hit. Yeah, that's the majesty of God's creation. You know what? Why reface when you can just retarget? All right, so let me drop my knife as a marker. Grab the target. Get it out of the way. Why reface when you can retarget? So what we do here is make sure the front of the target is right where the knife is. Then make sure the plate is actually facing me. So I want the energy going straight into the target. That way I get a nice clean bullet hit, a circular bullet hit. All right, back to work. All right, I made the time on this. Let's move on. On target, fire one shot, emergency reload, fire one shot. Yes, please, let's do more of that. Oh, perfect. Okay, so empty mag, one round in the chamber. For those who, I do this every time, and it's important that you guys know because there are so many people who keep coming to the channel. From the comments, I realize that they're newcomers, which is cool. What you saw me do was sweep the loaded chamber indicator. When I load a handgun, it's mag in, slide goes forward, right thumb sweeps on the loaded chamber indicator, and the gun goes into the holster. I don't always visualize going into the holster because I have intentionally tried to pull my trigger with this holster, with several holsters actually. And it's not that it's virtually impossible, it is impossible to pull the trigger when holstering. Now if I were to end up tussling on the ground, you bet your butt I'm going to be looking, because I may even end up with a bunch of shirt in the holster. So yeah, I'm going to clear stuff before I put the gun in. At my level of training, you have also a level of understanding that goes with it, of all the steps that are needed. And I know this because when I go for long periods of time without shooting, the accuracy fails sometimes, but the body mechanics is always on. And I know this because I video myself all the time. So I know that the basics are there solidly. I'm not really worried about that. But blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so what I do is mag in, slide forward, check the loaded chamber indicator, which tells me that there's a round in the chamber and I'm good to go. All right, on target, fire one shot, emergency reload, fire one shot, and 3-2-5. Oh, I guess this should probably clarify at this point. Hang on. Okay, on target means on target, on trigger, slack taken out, ready to fire that shot. When you hear the beep, the B and beep, you immediately fire that shot, drop your mag, get your next mag in the gun. For those that are not aware, I sew up my jeans in the back so that they hold PMag G09 21 rounders straight up. And I can actually hold 4 mags across my buttocks. So I call this a buttocks rig. And that's a lot of ammo. Jiggle, 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 jiggle hands. Wow, that was bad. That was bad. But we're leaving it in. Oh, the other thing I do when I load, you'll see the mag go in a little sweep with a thumb. I'm hooking the Vickers tactical floor plates, which have that little tiny bit of standoff. And so it allows you to hook. So if that mag were loose, it'd come right out in your grasp. So it's mag in, grasp. And then it's... See, the reason I do that, guys, is what I don't want to do is be the guy who gets the mag in, grabs the gun, racks the gun, and then verifies. And he goes. You know who you are. Hot buckets. That was cool. 290. Ding ding. Sweet. Yeah, that was good. That was good. So apparently I rapidly unscrewed myself. So that was 290, and I made the desired time of 3 flat and the required time of 3.25. So let's do it one more time to make sure it wasn't a fluke. Once is lucky, twice is skill. Yeah, that was awesome. Both of those were between the eyes, 277. So first round was 0.17. Second one was 277. Move on! On target, stovepipe, pull trigger, clear pistol, fire, 1 shot, 2 seconds flat. Alright, I'm going to give this 2 tries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 2 casings. What you do, get out your pea shooter, put some rounds in your primary mag because you're pretty much done with all the empty mag thing. Take your empty casing, and what I do is I place it on the breech face and then I push back. And there you go. If for some reason I have to holster the gun to do something, I can at least fit it in there without there being a casing sticking out, so my hands are free to do something. But basically, a stovepipe, all you're looking for with a stovepipe is just a casing in the way of this gun working properly. So on target, stovepipe, pull trigger, clear pistol, fire, 1 shot. To clear the stovepipe, all you've got to do is tap the gun. Well, you get the click. Tap the gun. If you've got an optic, you either need to pinch across the front. I would highly avoid grabbing your optic because you can mess with the windage screw, and I have. I went to a class last August, and I really jacked up my zero. Do not grab your optic. You can do front of the glass if you want. I don't really care. That's irrelevant. But this takes your hands out of the fight. You're actually better off going tap, pinching, pushing, and this takes you from here to here very quickly. I forgot to give the gun a second for gravity to do its job. This is not a tap rack bang. This is a stovepipe. You know what, guys? Like I told you, I'm keeping this on camera. That was good. That was good. What I failed to remember, and I failed to tell you, got a bee on me, is in that tap rack to clear the malfunction, you have to give enough time for gravity to do its job, and I didn't. I immediately did tap, rack, and I trapped just enough of that casing, and it's pretty much stayed in that position. Yeah, that was a little bit too long. Let's try that again. That was 235. .181, better. Desired of 175, required of 2 flat. And that was 181. Let's do it one more time, because I completely jacked it up that first time. .203. I struggled to find the dot, and I had to slave it back in again to get it just onto the face, and it hit him right there. We'll take that. Alright, 203, let's move on. On target, double feed, pull trigger, clear pistol, fire, 1 shot. Alright, the double feed. Okay, this one goes like this. Let me find an unboogered casing. Alright, so what you do is you take a fired casing. What this is, what you're simulating, is a fired round that did not extract. Whatever the case may be. It's usually going to be your extractor claw is out of spec, it's rolled out, or your detent for this extractor, excuse me, the detent spring, which is inside of here for the extractor, is fatigued, which I've actually experienced. I had so many rounds on my EDC handgun, and my EDC handguns are always my training handguns, which is why this is now what I shoot with. That I fatigued everything. So I was actually having malfunctions, thank God, in a class where I figured out what the problem was and I swapped everything out because I've always got springs with me. But anyways, so what this is is the extractor has come off that casing without extracting it. The next round is tried to go up inside, and now it's trapped, and you can't even drop your mag, because when your casing, when your round goes forward, ever so slightly forward, it's catching the inside of the frame. So it's not going to casually drop free. So you now have to physically extract, retain that mag, invert the pistol, rack, wait for gravity to do its job, insert your mag, rack, fire, inside of 6 flat. And I usually get this first go around because I've got huge hands and I can get away with this. But if you don't have huge hands, you're going to have to work at this. .527. So desired time of 5 flat, required time of 6.0. Spending time with your weapons is how you get proficient with them. If you don't spend time with them, don't be surprised when something horrible happens and you completely screw things up. Oh, love that. Right there. Love that. 473. Boom, yeah. So that was well inside the desired time of 5 flat, well inside of required time of 6 flat. And yeah, in fact, I'm just going to stop right there. That's cool. That's cool. All right, guys. Thanks for coming out for this training session. I like teaching. I like sharing knowledge, even the hard stuff. The hard moments that are very, very embarrassing. There's no guile in me. I've let that crap go. I let pridefulness go a long time ago. There's a wonderful place in life that you reach when you go, I'm never going to be the superstar, and it doesn't matter, and then you're more focused on giving people truth. I live a whole different life than what I used to. Like I said earlier, I've been through a divorce, which sucks, children. But I have met a wonderful lady from church, and God has seen fit to pull me back 10 years. He's rolled back the clock 10 years. And now I have 2 wonderful children in my life again, a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old who need me. And I love it because I'm there for them. And this go round, I'm paying attention. Like I was talking to my friend, Matt, who he and his wife had a child. So his first 3 children are in their 20s, and his younger child is now 6. And he says, I love it because I'm paying far more attention this go around than I ever did the first time. It's just how life works sometimes. But anyways, I've been hitting this on every video that I've been doing lately. Guys, I'm getting married in a couple of months, and I need to buy a new vehicle, and I've never asked for help from you guys. As you guys know, this channel is not monetized, and that's probably my fiance. Yeah, that's her. This channel is not monetized. I do everything out of pocket, and I never ask for help, but I'm asking for your help this time, guys. I need to buy a new vehicle because that truck is not big enough to haul the kids around. And when I do have to haul the kids around, I either have to borrow my my in-laws to be vehicle, their van, or I have to borrow my fiance's car, which is a bit of a problem because then I have to go to the school where she works and do the vehicle swap. So anyways, I need your help. Please go to the website and go to the Support Tier 1 Citizen link, and please make a donation, guys. I need your help. As always, thank you for watching this video. God bless you all. Get those guns on practice. Have a good one.